The AoE slow there, plus a little pop-up gives you a chance.
Down there, and we're going to see how much work can be done. As Team Liquid hope to continue to rise up the standings, they are in playoff position. We know top 2 is what you are fighting for, and FlyQuest and TSM are in striking distance for the TL squad. Counter Logic Gaming not out, but certainly down. We'll see if they can move their way back up. They can make it a top 6. They are 4 wins behind 6th place right now, with only a few games to play, 6 to go. Real quick, as the fans chant back and forth, Avli standing by with Dodo.
Thanks, guys. Dodo, we see Tactical. Oh my goodness. Oh. And he's out. There we go. Okay, well, there's our man of the hour right there. Tactical and survives the invade. But just asking, decision-making for continuing to keep him in this week despite Doublelift recovering.
Yep, so we used Tactical last week and we had a pretty great week. And the team in general played really well around Tactical. And then there was a lot of things that Tactical was bringing to the team competitive-wise. So we definitely wanted to see more of him with the team. And, you know, we wanted to make sure we can have a better decision going into the rest of the split with the strongest roster.
Well, I'm sure he's excited to prove himself, and the fans are excited to see him play. Dodo, thank you, and back to you guys.
Well, it gets to be the difficult honor of leashing his team on a ward and being summonerless for the first 4 minutes of the game.
I almost thought you cursed him. You know, you're talking about how he was deathless.
Yeah.
Well, look what you've done here, freak.
I know. Yeah, it's always fun to do. It looks like both of them are going to be spotted on their red buffs as they start. Wiggly going leashless here for the most part. I believe maybe Ruin helped a little bit.
Look at this. So this is actually really important. Jensen is lane swap top against the Janna.
I like that.
This is actually really intelligent. You put Ornn mid, where he can just rush Abyssal and actually be, you know, completely fine against Syndra. So that's no longer a dangerous matchup there. You put Victor top, where it is a range versus range matchup that can actually win out against this Janna. Ornn is not going to have the ability to take down the Janna, and it gives Janna a free lane to actually proc Spell Thieves constantly. Anytime you are going to proc your Spell Thieves in a range matchup as this Janna, when you're against the Victor, you are going to be getting traded back on. So it's actually A, a lot harder to keep up the gold efficiency of that item and have that on cooldown the whole time, and B, you can just get bullied out and straight up lose this 1v1. He also doesn't even have teleport.
Oh, instant play to the bottom side. Can they knock down Tactical at level 1? The tower dive is not working yet. Finally, one traded back. The stun comes down. It's a 1-for-1 as we mentioned. First blood going over to Team Liquid.
Yeah, Tactical does get first blood. I like the play from CLG, very aggressive. They had level 1 still on both of those TL bot laners, so they're able to do a very well-timed dive here. This was just a red to blue, straight to bot, roam down here from Belter, and they go for it. But Tactical is positioned pretty well. They get the Braum stun over onto Win. He did get autoed by Core JJ, and Tactical is able to proc that, allowing them to take him down and get first blood before he does fall.
And you have to imagine, shouldn't have just waited for Smoother to pull aggro in the first place. Now Ruin takes the damage, does not have teleport.
Yeah.
Gets the taste of blood damage, but getting back to lane is going to be hard.
Exactly. So this is actually a really big deal. When you're not playing TP, as Wiggly may try gank here again, we'll see if that happens, but when you're not playing TP, every gank like this, where you even just get chunked out, but you survive, is way more punishing, because you don't have control of the wave, right? And, you know, this matchup is going to become much more difficult for Ruin. Anytime he's getting chunked out, he's going to lose control. You know, Jensen right now is trying to deny a lot of these minions, and Ruin's actually not even going back to top. He's roaming mid.
He's going to roam to try to fight the Ornn lane right here. Pelelter's getting pushed around, and Pope can at least TP to top side, but now a fight in the bottom side. 3v2 down here. Summoners are mostly gone. They're going to find that stun on a Thresh. The battle coming continuing forward as Smoothie finds the kill on Tactical, and they have instantly halved Tactical's KDA.
Yeah, 2 deaths in the first couple minutes after having a deathless weekend. Janna shows mid, so they're actually just going to try to lane swap here. It will allow Jensen to just push up top, and then he could even match that lane swap and just kind of continue to do this, because so far, Ruin has been having a lot of trouble in that matchup against the Victor, and I see no reason that they shouldn't just kind of try to maintain those lanes and swap around. You know, have Jensen base, have Impact try to push this out, but here this is one more time. Wiggly waiting out of range of that ward is spotted now. Smoothie, though, flashes in, finds the hook there onto Tactical, who did not have his flash. I do think maybe Core JJ could have just tanked that hook and allowed Tactical to kind of just get out of there, give up his life instead. but it is hard to say.
Yeah.
And it's one of those situations where maybe CoreJJ is thinking, hey, well, I can dodge it. If he can dodge it too, then neither of us have to use Summoner and we get out for free.
Yeah.
But either way, it does mean Tactical goes down one more time, and he's very far down in farm. Lucky he got that first blood, because otherwise it would have been pretty bad. And TL does just lane swap right back. And now it's going to be Wiggly coming here because Ruin wants to get out. He's just going to try to lane swap again, and it's going to be kind of the shuffle back and forth. That is why you're calling your jungler here, not to try to gank, but to say, help me push in this wave so I can leave. I don't want to lane against the Victor.
And what's kind of nice is, you know, if you're Kobe, you're happy that you're the jungler here because you can take the wave, right? Janna's going to hit, you know, CS penalties if she goes too hard on that one.
Kobe?
So, yeah, like, because Kobe loves taxing waves.
Oh.
He loves money all the time, you know? He's trying to be the rich boy jungler. And so, yeah, you know, hey, congratulations, Trundle. Here's some extra CS. It also means as they shove down mid together, they're going to go for the Ocean Drake. So, kind of Logic Gaming, right, finding a couple of windows here. Do want to kind of caution any early doom and gloom from that first dive being maybe questionable because kind of Logic Gaming basically tied in gold, up that Drake, and they'll continue to try to find that Janna lane.
Yeah, and the CS doesn't tell the full story when you're looking at these jungle lanes because so much of your gold is from the Spell Thieves. So despite the fact that it's 48 to 19, when you're comparing the Victor to him, he's only down like 300 gold. You know, it's really not as bad as you would expect. It's actually more important that you get the experience, and that's where I'm a little bit more concerned because Ruin just hit level 5. Jensen has been 6 for a bit, so he is falling pretty far behind in experience, and that is the cost of trying to lane swap back and forth constantly and trying to dodge this lane, is that if your opponent has lane control when you do that, you are missing minions and you're missing experience. And Ruin, again, is just running away from Victor essentially this whole game, so he is falling down in the experience, and TL have very well scaling solo laners. It's not as though they're super dependent upon their early game. So giving Victor and Ornn a free lane, that has a cost too.
Yep. What's also funny, by the way, is as I just keep watching Ruin and Wiggly play together, Wiggly can also run into CS penalties, by the way. The jungle item also has this for the first, I think, 14 minutes of the game. It's no longer whether you finish the enchant. It's, are you 14 minutes into the game? So if he has, if 1/3 of his gold income, or I think it's 2/3 of his gold income is from minions as opposed to jungle camps, he will take minus 10 gold per minion. So they kind of have to balance both of them together and make sure they're not sharing too heavily on just one player. So far, they're fine. They're not hitting penalties, so that's fine so far. But keep that in mind that you can get to a point where even Wiggly doesn't want that CS.
Yeah, now they're going to move up towards top. It's just this kind of roam squad. The Janna and this Trundle moving up towards top side to potentially dive Jensen. But with Broxah here, both of them level 6, it could be risky. I wouldn't have mind Jensen just ulting the wave, to be honest, to actually clear that out. But they think they can find a fight here as Impact roams up.
It's at least enough safety that there's no play to be had. And look at that satisfying death ray. Otto's the last one, and Jensen stays up to 65 CS. So most farm in the game is Victor going back and forth, pushing first, claiming the wave, saying, hey, Ruin, run away from me. And Ruin obliges.
Yep, Ruin is just going to keep doing this. And it's going to be up to what their team fights actually do look like. Can you just amp up what is being put out here by Wind enough that it's really going to kind of make this Janna pick worthwhile? You know, Janna is going to be very annoying for some of the champions on TL's side. It's really difficult as a Lee Sin, for example, to actually, dive in and have these plays being made because you can easily be tornadoed out of a queue. You can be ulted out of that queue. It's very simple to actually deny a lot of those engages unless you can come from an angle that Janna doesn't see you or get a kick flash, these types of plays. So it is going to make it a lot harder for some of these melee champions on TL to get things done.
And it's still a very close game, and the Janna is going to keep going at a late game. It's one thing we talked about when we had Soraka's in the game as well, is that the farming, quasi-farming support who's getting solo XP is a carry in the sense that they're supporting so much. The shield is so big, the healing's so good. Broxah did not know Wiggly was there. The ward hop is down, has to burn the kick, has to flash away as well. Nice patience there by Wiggly. Flash follow. If he gets another knock-up, might find something. A pillar buys a bit of time. Ruin flashing for the slow. The chase down isn't enough with the blast cone. Trying to get him away, and Broxah goes down to Wiggly. And suddenly it's 3v1 as Impact is running for dear life as well. Povelter does have the ulti, but not enough damage to kill the target off as Impact keeps running backwards. Finds the slow, might find some CC. Right now it's the Rift Herald being attacked as Impact is pushed away. Logic Gaming, 3-1 in kills in this game.
Yeah, nicely done there. They find a fight, get a kill, and their bot lane had already been moving up. So it is actually Wind pushing in that mid lane. They're going to get an easy Herald here. Tactical staying down on that bottom side, looking to try to cash in on plates there, but CLG coming out quite a bit ahead on this play.
Impressive stuff, Logic Gaming. Winning through the new picks. putting in the Janna and finding, you know, a couple of moments there. Also a lot of pressure on the bottom side. Wind, Smoothie, and Wiggly have done a lot down there.
First turret going to be theirs too. With the Rift Herald, there's not really any way that Tactical can outrace this. There's still 4 plates alive on that bottom lane, so they're going to be able to get this. And I'm anxious to see if they actually just keep pushing with it, because no one's walking up here to prevent this additional charge that could be coming out from this Herald. But CLG looking like they just want to back off, so Jensen should be able to potentially prevent it.
Yeah, if Jensen gets there in time to hit the weak point, he's going to be fine. It's
Nope.
gonna slam, it looks like. And that is that turret going down to just below half HP, so pretty good rewards there. Counter Logic Gaming up 1,500 gold up the Ocean Drake, and the Cloud spawns in 20 seconds. So far, so great for CLG. A couple of recalls have come off with all the pressure on Tactical. Wind is up in lane, 20 CS. Equal in gold, by the way, the first blood making up for the assists in the CS.
Yeah, and they weren't able to kind of extend any sort of advantage. You know, it was 30 CS to 10 after that second death from Tactical, because he had gotten taken down a couple times pretty early. That has not gotten worse, at least for TL, but yeah, I mean, Wind is in a decent spot here. And potentially for this next Dragon fight, it looks like CLG just wants to force it. CLG should be playing around objectives because this composition is based around team fighting, is based around Janna being grouped with the team and being valuable there.
This fight's pretty good for both junglers, sorry, both supports, but the jungler is going to be better for CLG. Wiggly has Cinderhulk done, no Warrior Fin for Broxus, so should feel a bit stronger there. Jensen coming around, Impact on the top-hand side, full-on 5v5. The Janna is here, has the ulti, a pull-in on Core JJ, instantly gone is the Braum. Orenhorn doesn't get a whole lot done as CLG disengages, gets away from the Chaos Storm, and Impact is forced to run. Ruin still has the ulti, there's the top off, and CLG back to full health. That is the power of Janna, and suddenly TL have at most a fight, and even Brock doesn't want that one. So Counter Logic Gaming win the clean 5-on-5, and outside of a Miracle Steal, get a second Drake as well.
Very well done, and when you have this 2 Dragon to 0 lead, your opponents can't just ignore the fact that you're stacking up this dragon, that you're working towards the Ocean Soul, or excuse me, the Infernal Soul, as that is going to be the one that spawns. So they're going to be able to get continued team fights every time one of those spawns. TL is going to have to challenge them there, and TL was pretty disorganized in that fight. Yes, it makes sense if you're trying to flank on the Ornn, but TL didn't really have the ability to actually collapse at the same time, so poor JJ was kind of up in the front, gets picked off, and Ornn can then not move forward, or they'll just collapse on him. And TL just didn't really seem as prepared for that fight as CLG.
Ruins had the missing a cannon there, but still feeling pretty safe. And again, XP, the important thing, getting really high-level spells is important. Janna, of course, maxing W for the one-on-one, the bigger slow, bigger burst damage. Going Q second for wave clear, so it is going to be a lower rank shield. One of the big things about that ability is the cooldown scales with rank. So even though you have eventually AP to bolster the attack damage given, to bolster the shield amount given, the cooldown is going to be very, very long if it stays a 1-point wonder.
Yeah, I've got to say I'm a little bit surprised to see that he put 4 points in W, considering he's just lane swapping most of the game anyway. He's not actually really doing that much laning, so I think you could have afforded to maybe put a couple points in Q and then go more heavily into E. You know, players have different kind of thought processes on this, on how many points you put into your laning skill. Oftentimes you'll see supports do things like a couple points into that Q for laning and then go towards this kind of more supportive style. But here he has 4 points in W, a couple points in Q, so yeah, the shield max is going to be very heavily played.
And that's the fight of the blue buff, as there's no brush to keep anyone safe. Nice steal. What? There we go, got it.
Ruin got it.
Yeah, okay. Blue on Janna, not a bad thing, honestly. Throwback to the very first LCS game ever played, where CLG picked Syndra mid before it was meta, and stole TSM's blue buff. That blue buff right there as a level 1 invade. Bit of history for everyone.
I like it.
Yep.
Good memory.
I cast it.
Did you?
I did. I was very excited because like, whoa, Cinder, haven't seen that before. Now Ruin. Oh, that is what you want to see! Ult timed right. Impact can't redirect the horn. The knockup does, well, from the pillar it lands, but is there enough damage? Impact finds a knockup. Here comes the TP from behind as Jensen comes to show up. Is it going to be good enough? Chaos Storm's not going to kill Ruin, and he runs easily to safety. TP down to keep the top laner safe.
Yeah, Jensen is able to keep him alive, TPing back up there after some insane Janna mechanics.
Woo!
Gets showed out there from Ruin. And Janna really is just kind of that denial-style champion. As much of a meme as it is, that is what you can get from Janna. And it's so frustrating to play against as these melee champions that can't necessarily get back to your opponent, right? Sure, Ornn dives in uses the Searing Charge, but if you actually get rejected out after that, you're kind of just having to try to waddle through a Trundle and Tornadoes and a W slow and all these things. It becomes very frustrating.
Yeah. I am curious, by the way, as we keep seeing Wiggly take most of the side lane farm, Janna will never kill a cash venue, for example. And now that we're 14 minutes in, there's no jungle CS penalty anymore, right? So Wiggly can take anything he ever wants. That's the game. He'll get full credit. I am curious if we see damage items come through on Wiggly at any point in time.
Yeah.
He's going to start tank, obviously, but like, what if Cleaver does come through? What if Titanic Hydra does come through? Because he's got a Janna to help protect him and make sure that stays safe.
So I actually think it's perfectly reasonable if he did go for that, because there is also an Ornn, and that's kind of your tank stats that you're actually going to be stealing in a lot of team fights. I do think with the Kindle Gem coming through, it's just going to be Knight's Vow, and it's going to be all in on Win, and he's going to build supportive items, and we won't see it. But I agree. I think there's room for it in these types of comps, and I would have been totally fine with that.
All right, now we keep Ruin, who's just hitting away, and very quickly, I think we're pretty close to this one now, is going to have the full completion on the item. Actually, 668 of 1,000. So several minutes to go until he's earned all the money that item can give him, but another gank is coming. Impact does have flash. For a few moments, though, no ultimate. So the slows are in, and it's decent damage. Wiggly has come to the ultimate. Really good damage coming across. W gets popped, but Impact just not enough stats, and the two of them wear down that Team Liquid tank.
Yeah, they have so many slows between the Pillar, the W, the Tornadoes, just locking him down. And despite the fact that there's not damage items on the Trundle, the ultimate really is shredding through a lot of Impact's health and resistances there. So pretty annoying, slow death for him.
Yep.
And in the meantime, CLG also able to take down that mid lane turret. So 3,000 gold ahead. Very strong team fighting potential with this type of composition. CLG are looking great, and it doesn't feel like Team Liquid really has a good answer to this, because they're not playing side lane heavily. They're not trying to avoid that 5v5. CLG is already up 2 dragons to 0, so it means CL is going to have to challenge them at these neutrals where they're strongest.
Yeah, and the game feels a little bit like when Tia was on the loss streak, where they don't feel like they're getting a lot accomplished. They're kind of waiting around and letting their opponents do what they want. CLG have been proactive pretty well here. Infernal Drake is up. TL not on that side of the map. Ruin's recall is late. Wiggly's recall is a little bit late as well, and Team Liquid not going to be able to punish that timing at all, so CLG will be ready to fight for Drake number 3. But as soon as it goes their way, Soul points to under 23 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I think TL is in a tough spot. It's going to require a really good engage from them to be able to punish this. You need to kill someone off very early on.
Nice Lantern, nice hook, nice double play as well, but the re-engage simply too good. Wind's gonna go down, and Rune wasn't in range to save him. Damage not enough. Pobelter gets the auto, gets the electrocute, and that's a trade of AD carries. Wiggly has to be afraid. There was Impact chasing him down, and Jensen's nearby as well. Broxa just limps way to safety himself. It's a 1-for-1 so far as the low health part just barely walk away.
I felt like that could have gone a lot better for TL, but both Impact and Jensen were spending all their time trying to knock down Wiggly, who is very tanky on this Trundle. And in the meantime, Pobelter was just kind of chasing after the rest of the TL members to take them down. You know, with Wind getting knocked out at the beginning of that fight, maybe more attention should have been paid to Pobelter, who was able to TP in, but it is still TL back out on the map, charging towards this. Wind has respawned also, and will be moving over to that Dragon Pit, so the fight should continue.
All right, Counterlogic Gaming looking to pick up this Drake. It would be soul point for them. Infernal adds a little bit of flat damage over the top, which would be nice. Even multiplies the Drake itself, multiplies the support power. You get raw AP, which is quite nice, as Ruin looks for a bit of poke. Has started maxing shield, by the way. Stayed at 2 points Q. 2 points now
Makes
in the
sense.
shield, so is doing that for the mid to late game team fighting power. I agree. Definitely makes sense to go that way. And he finds some poke, tastes some blood, but Impact's not going to feel that damage.
Yeah, now that he actually has the Athenes, all of that damage he gets in does matter, because you're charging up the Athenes for this heal that can be added with his shield. Pobelter, remember, has no summoners, so he is potentially vulnerable to a kick flash once that kick is back up here for Broxa. That is up very soon. And I think this is part of the reason we're seeing CLG be pretty hesitant here, but Wind is by himself on the bottom.
Ult comes in, Wind's in a bad spot. Ulti's gonna land. Drake comes over, no problem. The Lantern brings Wiggly to safety, and Wind. He's gonna find a couple of roots. That's 3 targets hit, but there's no follow for CLG. Can't find the stun, they can't find the re-engage. Afraid of what would come in, and now suddenly it's Pobelter, who steps too close to the wall and gets shut down by Impact's engage.
Yeah, this time around it is CLG that is split up. That happened to Team Liquid last time. This time it is Wind on the outside there, unable to gather up with his team. And as Pobelter stepped forward, TL knows he doesn't have summoners from that previous play. step a little bit too far forward, get knocked up by Impact. Easy takedown from him. And TL still has 4 flashes available, so a lot of playmaking. Wind has got to be pretty careful here about how he's going to play this out.
The turret's taking damage. CLG is trying to wave through this one, but it's still getting incredibly low. Liquid flinch enough to not knock the turret down. That hook might mean something, but Impact is so tanky. There's not really a kill when Ruin shows up.
Yeah, and that dragon is actually a really big deal because it's buying more time for TL. And I do think if you give Victor enough time and he wants to start playing side lanes, there's not really going to be anyone who can answer him very well. You can have someone like Syndra kind of playing defensively under the turret and trying to play it out like that. But here is the dragon fight one more time. Impact dropping the ultimate, only connecting on Wiggly, but Wind is not with the team, so CLG is having a hard time actually going forward. Wind wanted to try to use this route to buy time for the rest of CLG to get in, but then as Pobelter walks forward here, he gets tagged by the slow from CoreJJ, and that knockup was an easy turn onto the CLG mid laner. Once he is down, Wind still split. No way that CLG could look for more in that fight.
Well, CLG find their next set of items as Landry's Torment comes in for Pobelter, trying to go for mostly frontline damage here.
Yeah.
It's only good if you're going for that one. Will not be better at killing Tactical, will not be better at killing Jensen, but is going to be good in the case of having to slowly kill off Ornn.
And I think we're going to see a lot of extended fights because you have the Janna and you have this kind of disengage and re-engage style of fight. And there's a lot of melee champions in the front line of TL, the Braum, the Ornn, the Lee Sin, who are going to be getting poked away at, which should make that Liandry's quite effective.
All right, if you want to say front line, I want to see Deathcap or Void next to keep that going then. And as Wind gets towards his second major item, still waiting on the Infinity Edge. CoreJJ, will he be hooked? No, he will not. Jumps over to Broxton to clean safety as some wards go down. We know Baron is alive. These teams are fighting over top river control. Nicely done on the bottom side. Impact, I think, was in maybe local gold range, regardless of that turret falls. Team Liquid 1-4 in that record.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see if CLG want to try to threaten starting the Baron just to get a TP out of Impact. But for now, having that Scuttle Crab on TL's side means there is not going to be any attempt at that, and TL will be able to push out bot wave, reset, and it should give them the ability to maintain control in that area. There's no real threat now for CLG. And their Ocean Soul, excuse me, I keep saying Ocean, I don't know why.
It's okay.
Their Infernal Soul is quite pushed back based on the lost fight last time around. So CLG going to be pretty dependent, I think, on this next fight going well. Keep kind of moving towards that win condition.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out actually is how XP is being divvied up here as well, because Ruin is actually under-leveled compared to his AD carry in Wind. Some portion of that was the early lane something back and forth, was getting a bit behind, but in general, he's just not been catching as many waves. Now, I would give Aphelios the gold too, don't get me wrong, like that makes more sense to me, but it does mean this Janna is not getting XP. We're not going to see that rank 3 ultimate. We're not going to see bigger points in that shield either.
Yeah, and part of that is also the fact that they split so much XP between the support and the jungle, right? You know, it is Janna and Trundle oftentimes in the same lane when those minions are dying. So, you know, more of that gold being put into his pockets. Is Jensen going to be splitting up here? Jensen going Deathcap second, and I think if he wants to play side lane, I want to see Lichbane next. It really does allow Victor to shred through these turrets so incredibly fast that it does give you one combo potential. When you have that Lichbane plus Deathcap, you really can one round some of these squishier targets, and having that burst potential can be very important against champions like Janna, who a lot of their strength comes in when you're getting multiple rounds of shields, when you can't initially kill someone off, and they become very, very durable once the second and third shield comes back and they're getting reset back up to full.
Yeah, I mean, you get the shield off, you get the team heal on it, they ult, that's another couple hundred health, and their second shield comes in. I also do want to see healing reduction somewhere in that Team Liquid side for that. Now Core, ooh, what a great play! Pulls him up the jump back, Core has to flash, ult comes in for 2 roots, and that might be enough to kill him, and yes, it is. A lot of ults were burned, but CLG and the Drought, they find the kill. Knockup hits absolutely nothing. And Counterlogic Gaming cleanly on the 5v4. He's dead by the time this Drake respawns.
Yeah, that is a great pick onto CoreJJ. It should grab them the Dragon. Not really sure what that ultimate was from Impact. It was so far after the fight had ended. Even if you hit everyone, I don't think that TL are going to engage off of it because Impact is over to the side. It'd be essentially a 3v5. So either way, TL will send Jensen up to the top lane. They're going to try to get an advantage through the side lane, through that farm, and just seize control of this Dragon Pit because they have no way to really take it.
And imagine TL didn't get that last fight. They didn't take Drake number 3. That would have been Soul already picked up. CLG, of course, will still take the Drake. Well done to them. A solid mid-game. Still a 2,000 gold lead. And Counterlogic Gaming really showing up to play today.
Yeah, this is one more time, and really the flay from Smoothie kind of makes all the difference. The pillar actually invisible here, so that is kind of what bumped him. And then he actually gets flayed out. You know, he gets the ability to flash back and try to escape, but the ultimate follow-up there from Wind, rooting him up and locking him down so that Pobelter can finish him off with that Simpson ultimate. Nicely done by CLG and a solid pick, utilizing Trundle plus Thresh as kind of that pseudo hard engage.
Yeah. The items stacking up here for the Jan. I'm going to keep the track. I love Enchanter supports. We don't see, I think, enough that aren't named Yuumi in the LCS right now. We're seeing him in the top lane. Athene's was done a while ago, but the Ardent Sensor is in there as well, as the stats keep stacking up. And you're going to get a lot of damage output from your Aphelios here.
And you're going to have so many additional kind of supportive items for the Aphelios, because Knight's Vow is done on the Trundle. It looks like probably a Redemption is going to be built on the Thresh with that Bracer. You already have 2 supportive items, you know, just kind of buff up the Aphelios on the Janna. And all of a sudden, you're getting much stronger than you would otherwise be expecting. I do think we could also get Zeke's on the Trundle to add in even more for the Aphelios. So Wind is going to be in a pretty great spot, and if TL can't just burst him out really quick, it gets tough.
And it's his LCS debut, right? Wind came in, he played a couple of teams over in Challengers 3 on BBQ Oliver's, shout out Coach LS, and, you know, comes over to Counterlogic Gaming. He has a tough time in sort of Visa Armageddon, where he has to play remotely, then comes over. He got 8 total games in, but Stixley had to play some as well. Comes up the LCS stage against Team Liquid, who looked really hot against the Deathless AD carry, and they're building around him. It's essentially 3 supports and Pobelter buffing up Wind.
Yeah, it shows a lot of faith in his ability to execute in these team fights, and I think, you know, that is very, very interesting. We can also check in on Pobelter's build and see that he has gone Void Staff. So Void Staff plus Leandries, it does speak to what we were kind of expecting, hitting frontline, and as you say, that is going to be very efficient in doing that.
Pobelter kill the rich one. Looking at the engagement. Nice damage over the top, a knock-up, and 2 stopwatches. Quickly's got to be careful. Has to flash from the team backwards. A nice lantern brings CLG to safety. A nice engage by TL, but a nicer disengage by CLG.
Yeah, but it did cost CLG a lot. That is what you got to remember there. Broxa should be able to walk it out, but that is 2 stopwatches, a flash on Wind. That is a very expensive disengage. Those stopwatches, you don't get them back. And that Summoner spell is going to be down now for the next potential fight. And Wind is that key member. So if he is without Flash, if he can be knocked in by Broxa and burst out by Jensen, that can change the game completely. So we'll see, can TL really be able to kind of punish them for that? Because I think for JJ, one of his biggest strengths is actually finding these windows and punishing summoners. He's someone that is constantly talking about that in their comms, and I think they're going to be looking very heavily for Wind in this next fight.
I am surprised CLG aren't hitting Baron right now. I'm looking at TL's vision. They have not seen Baron or Wind or Ruin or Wiggly for 15 seconds straight. A ward got cleared and CLG was like, they'll check it, it's fine. The mid lane was cleared. They actually had the chance to sneak Baron. I understand I'm making that call. I'm not saying CLG made a wrong call, but that window was actually there for them.
And it's one of those things that you have to look at, right? And you have to kind of consider, how do they feel about their state in the game, right? If they think, hey, maybe it's a bit risky to go over there and perhaps get corralled in that Baron pit with no flash on Wind, we are already at Soul Point, we are in a point where we think we're going to win those team fights as long as we execute, then hey, maybe you don't take that risk. And I think that's a reasonable call to make too, and might be what CLG is kind of saying.
Well, Soul Point, as you mentioned, 70 seconds away from that one. They've maintained the 2,500 gold lead. The only question is, does it get weaker with the flash down and with the stopwatches down? Because Wind is now a target. He can be saved by Thresh, he can be saved by Janna, but that's up to Outplays. A little bit less reactive.
Yeah. Gotta give credit to CLG. Their vision is really good over by this dragon area.
Oh, that's a big hook, but not the target they want to go for. Core still pretty tanky. Rudy kites away after Shock now on cooldown. Pobelter, can he find a stun? Not yet.
Yeah, there's no vision on that side, though, for TL. So if Broxa steps too far forward, he could actually potentially get comboed out here by Pobelter. He doesn't know that he's there. Now will spot him with that pink ward, but it's a completely dark map right now for that TL squad on the bottom side river. 3 pink wards covering that area for CLG, and really 4 pink wards if you're going to add in that one in the mid lane. They know what they want to play for, and they are investing all their vision in this area.
Pillar hook attempted, Q down the line. They clear the wave for the most part, and a ward hop gets Broxa away as the timers tick down. 10 seconds on Infernal, and CLG are going to hit Baron as Liquid now can easily send one player to solo the Drake. The question is, can they stop Baron 4v5?
I don't think they can. I think they have to commit to going up to challenge at that Baron. I don't think they're willing to actually give it away. There is a blue orb available for Jensen, it looks like, so will they actually check it? They've got to know they're on it.
Down to half health, there's the reveal. Impact tanking the front line, burns a stopwatch early, and nice, a play back means there's an opening. Damage and a ruin though, has to flash away. When does the heal come out? Shields himself, but Wiggly goes down. The ulti was already burned, and there's nothing for CLG at all. Team Liquid crushed that team fight.
Yeah, Jensen is tearing through them now. He has had such a free game to farm up, sitting on death cap, fully upgraded power core there, has a Sheen as well. And Jensen's damage plus Tactical's ultimate reaching through that back line absolutely shreds them. CLG are going to try to rush for Soul. They're actually now TPing cross map. This should be theirs. And NTL actually get down there because remember, CLG has no junglers who actually stop this.
Wind has so much damage. So nice play by CLG. That is smart to read the map. I want to give credit when it's due, but this is now scary. Impact is ultless. Can he find the knockup? A lantern over the wall. Impact could have gone for a flash E. That would be such a huge risk. Doesn't go for it. The wave is cleared. Now Baron for Team Liquid. This is only going to last 2.5 minutes. They need to get something done. Or CLG, I think, might just outscale with the Soul.
Yeah, I mean, the Soul is a really big deal. So let's watch this fight one more time. I think the early stopwatch was great from Impact, buying time for his team to get into position. That was a really nice pillar, though, from Wiggly. Locks him up. Jensen, though, over the wall, drops the ult alongside the MF ultimate. And his laser coming over top, dealing so much damage. Then Impact finding the follow-up ulti, allowing Jensen's ultimate there to catch back up and finish off Wiggly. They do get the Baron, but in the long run, Soul is better because that is the permanent buff. So, as you say, TL has some pressure on them to get things done now.
Yeah, I think they can, though, right? They've tied the gold back up. They are 4 now more powerful. 2 minutes of Baron buff. They can definitely take some turrets down. They're trying in the bottom lane. Impact leading the charge. Jensen knocked up, but he has so much damage. A single E auto. That's the turret down to 1/3. Second auto. Third auto. Turret is gone. Still a minute and a half. Team Liquid gonna achieve more with this buff. Bot lane, we're gonna let that one get wave cleared. The mid could be under fire. Top, if they go there, they can shove that one in too.
Now this Infernal Soul is going to be really helpful as far as the damage is concerned from CLG, but obviously if it is not the mountain, it is not the ocean, it's not going to increase their survivability, so they still have the potential to get first kills on the side of Team Liquid. And I think, funny enough, in this case, even though you would think, hey, you're low on damage, that would be really important, I think it is better that TL are able to give up the Infernal compared to something like the Ocean Soul or a Mountain Soul, which would just make it so Jonix can just keep resetting the fight and keep kind of healing you back up. CLG is more dependent on survivability, I think, right now than damage.
Yeah, I'm looking at Infernal Soul damage right now, and you're looking at, about 150 damage every 3 seconds if you're working optimally. 50 DPS per member on Ornn is not a big DPS upgrade. Like, generally speaking, Impact can tank that. He's got a stone plate. He's kind of fine. But yeah, Jensen's going to one-shot Wind if he doesn't have a lot of MR and a shield. And by the way, Wind has base MR right now, right? He's sitting at 33 against the, well, no flat pen, but it's still not a lot of resistances.
I mean, Jensen is on 756 AP with the upgraded death cap plus the Baron buff. Obviously, that will expire and then will go down some, but he is on a really, really strong one combo type build. Has rank 3 ultimate now that he didn't even have in that previous fight, so all of the additional experience that he's been picking up is a big deal.
It is. It's a big deal. And Team Liquid, with the tail end of Baron buff, look for turret number 5. They managed to tie the turret score. There's mid-tier 2 going down. Top 2 barely live. The turret score was 1-4 not that long ago. 4 straight turret kills for Liquid. The Baron buff helping with that, obviously. The question is, as this buff times out, as it has ended, as the top turret dies, and TL can go for the reset, can CLG now use the Drake Soul to come back from a 2,000 gold deficit?
Yeah, and I think that's really the question, right? CLG, their best chance at getting fights that they want is just going to neutral objective. So I think we are waiting for this Elder Dragon, because that is where TL has to contest you. Otherwise, CLG's engage just isn't strong enough to really kind of get a lot of picks or things like this unless they can control vision and find someone face checking. TL want to keep playing side lane. Jensen is built intelligently for that, so TL is going to keep spreading the map. As a result, they're likely going to continue to get more gold over the next couple of minutes, but then so much of it will come down to that Elder Dragon, which is just as strong whether you have 1 dragon or 4. So both teams, I think, going to be highly dependent upon that.
2 minutes, almost identical timing on these. As the Wind is given the farm, he is clearing and clearing and clearing. He is behind on gold credit tactical by 2K. He's behind Cobalter by 2K. Second richest on his team. 3 item spike's not bad, but Full 4 for Tactical. I love that he, by the way, went for a reminder. He added a very efficient healing reduction item to that build. Molten Edge gets upgraded there as well. The inventory looks really nice on Team Liquid.
Yeah, it really does. And it's one of those things, I think Trundle is one of the champions that his healing is underestimated the most. You know, Trundle heals so much when you have a big, beefy target like Warren 2 ult. So having that on him can be worth an immense amount of damage in a fight, just that Grievous means.
Looking for the next fight. Team Liquid right now feeling comfortable. They're the ones clearing mid-wave first, but CLG want to get back out on the map. You can see though how far back they're playing it. Team Liquid still feel more comfortable. The pillar means a disengage. Impact does not want to go in yet. Through the wave, but you can see it's obviously Team Liquid. We're able to walk forward. We're able to put wards down. Have the chance to sweep. They can poach the jungle camps. Liquid, in a neutral game state, feel more powerful.
Yeah, but you know, I also would like to see them get over to this area. This is all CLG wards. They want to have that cleared out before the Elder does spawn. They haven't actually taken the time to utilize that mid lane control and actually move back and sweep out those wards. So I do think that is a bit of a mistake. Despite the fact that they have mid lane control, CLG doesn't have to care if they still have vision.
That's the funny thing is I think the moment passed for Team Liquid. You want to usually reset 1 minute. That is the timer. You go 1 minute before the buff spawns. It's now past 30 seconds. There's only 3 control wards left in inventory. Now 2, and CLG have the river, which means TL's not taking the river back. That vision belongs to CLG and will as this Drake spawns.
Yeah, so definitely a mistake there from TL to not get much out of that mid lane prio. And now it is a very, very scary face check that they're going to have to do. Impact can move over, but they need to be grouped up. And Broxah now really low to start that fight. Bit of a chunk from Pobelter. Puts him down below half.
And this is the push going forward. Wiggly burns the ult. They're looking to chunk down Impact, who ults away, and stone plates and jumps away. A quick redemption resets the health bars. And does CLG feel comfortable or what? Team Liquid can barely join the river. Ruin putting some more healing down. Here's the Ornhorn. Here's the attempt. They find the stun on the Thresh, and it will be a kill, but will it be traded back? It's Ruin already going in. Broxah cannot find the steal. So is Elder Dragon enough? Wind is safe, but here comes Tactical. The Elder Dragon can't go off in time, and Tactical wins the duel. Only Broxah goes down, and 3 of CLG are dead.
And TL can potentially go to the Baron. It looks like they're going to try to make this rush for it, but they are so low. This would be incredibly risky. Tactical is going to grab the red buff to heal up and also have that out-of-combat regen. Yeah, TL are going to make the call. They got to reset. No, instead they're just going right on it. There's 2 wards there. Pobelter does have teleport. They have got to try to prevent this. These guys are so low.
He has Spike Flash. He has Spike Flash, and Broxah's dead. If he can get any vision at all, yeah, there's no way. TL had to leave. That is the right choice to leave. With that control ward, Wiggly 100% of the time, 85% of the time, gets that Baron.
I like the edit there on the percentage as we see this one more time. CLG did a great initial job poking multiple members out, but as TL moved in, too many members from CLG had already committed to the Elder, so they could no longer prevent Team Liquid from actually moving up and taking down multiple members. Once they get that, you can see Broxah going in, mites it down to 280, went down to 240 off an auto, and then is secured by Wiggly. That is a tough one for Broxah. He did smite a bit early, but also because he's slow and going to get focused, he has to, or he could just get knocked down. And Tactical there, barely surviving, is able to get a kill. And that's 3 of the Elder buffs removed now from CLG because multiple members actually got killed off after that fight. It is still on Wiggly. It is still on Pobelter. That is a big deal, especially when you think Pobelter now has Infernal Soul, which is going to help his burst combo. And he only has to get you to 20% and then you just die.
Oh, Impact gets stuffed up by the pillar. The E goes nowhere for knocking the pillar down. And Counterleft Gaming got to feel comfortable. Syndra and Trundle have the Elder Dragon. They're now going top river, which they also own.
Jensen now on Void Staff here too, and so much of the heavy lifting has had to be done by him this game. He has everything he needs to dominate in a team fight, but it's going to be tough, and CLG still staying on this Baron. It's down to about half.
Watch for the ultis. Watch for getting the damage down. Watch for the burn. Nice little Infernum turret. As Wiggly's down to about half HP, does have his ulti for the re-engage. Tactical in the wings, waiting for the play. Redemption will heal up Wiggly.
It's still so low. Look at the Baron.
Who can get the smite? Who can get in? There's the Q landing. The smite again. It goes to Wiggly, and Counterlogic Gaming have to feel comfortable, but Wiggly has to flash away. Ruin. I think it's the second time he's instant canceled his own ultimate. But the reset comes in. CLG can hold mid lane.
Yeah, they are going to have to back off. I'm not sure if it was actually a Victor ult that did cancel it, because Victor does have that little
On the first,
mini
yeah.
silence on the first kick. But that was TL making the call to try to combine the MF ultimate with Broxa going in and look for the steal. But 2 out of 2 times, Broxa has been outsmited by Wiggly, and that is such a big deal. Those 2 smites really have decided a lot of this game. If TL got both of those objectives, potentially they just end off that last team fight win by that Dragon point. So really good job by Wiggly, and now CLG are in control and are gonna have a lot of power right now for this next couple minutes.
Elder Dragon gone, Baron buff on for 2 minutes here as they clear the top side, and Pobelter's going to be running out of item slots. Wiggly, though, a lot of room to grow, going to start taking farm here, and he's going to go for some very heavy armor on the top. That fight again, very close smite battle here across the jungle.
I kind of felt like TL could have just committed to the fight and moved in as 5-man squad, but instead, Tactical, watch him over the wall. He's just waiting for the ulti to combine with Broxa, drops the ultimate here, Q in, and they try to combine on this. The smite, we can't see, it might be a pick on Wiggly.
Lantern gets into safety, nice root comes in, no follow-through on a Jensen, they don't quite have what they need. Pobelter was split pushing and has very fast recalls. So he will be safe as well. CLG comfortable in the 4v5. Lanterns for safety. Impact spell looks to 2 utility summoners. Cleanse and Exhauster on.
Yeah, it can be really nice if you can get a good exhaust off on someone, especially like that Syndra. It would be a very big deal. But Baron power play, really just kind of evening out the gold. Yes, there is additional gold value over on those foreign items too. We have to take that into consideration, but it does feel like it's pretty much just down to the execution at this point. CLG have not clearly taken over with this soul. TL are still hanging on, and I think we're just going to the next Elder. CLG just don't feel like they are able to actually push and get enough done with the Baron buff or with the Elder that they had for a little bit. So it's going to be another objective, and that second Elder could be the key for them.
Counterlogic Gaming. Clear in mid. 30 seconds on Baron that will drop in plenty of time to fight for Elder Dragon. But again, they're going for this bottom jungle. CLG, it feels like, have had the better vision control overall in this game. I think they've gotten more accomplished. Ruin with the sweeper. Best support in the game. 119 vision score. Pretty incredible for a career top laner. Doing the best to keep his team happy in that regard. I guess it's no surprise CLG wins in vision. 2 Sightstone takes the sweeper there. Impact has to walk away. CLG still comfortable in mid. Baron buff is now gone. That's going to change the texture a little bit.
Yeah. But again, you're in this spot now as TL where you have to walk through this whole dark area. They have no vision even really in their own jungle, so you're going to be getting chunked out by Pobelter, who's 6 items. Pobelter is full build here. 5-1 on the Syndra, has been quietly having a great game. And every single Q, whether you're a tank or not, is meaning a lot.
Definitely hurts. We'll see if they can find that next engage as the Orin Horn is sounded. Pillar comes up. Impact wants in. Finds only the front line. But Wiggly, look how much damage he can take. Lantern means safety, though, and he has ulti. He's got stats. There's some damage up, but ult comes over. That might just be an impact, but he's barely getting away. A flash gets out from the lasso. But Elder Dragon is alive, and Counterlogic Gaming feel pretty healthy. Ruin's ult is down, but they can still walk over.
Impact has no TP. He's on the flash exhaust right now. So CLG likely just going to get this. The only chance is maybe a Broxa steal, but if Broxa goes for the steal and dies,
last
CLG
2
might just
smites
end
have
it.
gone to one side. The pillar buys some space. He cues in. Can they wait it out? Wiggly's getting low. Smite lands again. A kick doesn't buy enough. There's no way out for Broxa. He should be going down, and he does. 5v4 in the map, and an Elder Dragon on for 2.5.
Yeah, CLG able to come out on top again. Pobelter getting so much damage down on that front line. While TL looked for the engage, Pobelter was on the side poking at them that whole time. And TL were never able to get over to him. It is another Elder going that way. Broxa with a desperation attempt on that steal. His Q didn't even connect, so he had to ward hop in and try to smite it away, which is going to be a really low percentage play there. But Feldy needed to go for it. Again, Wiggly coming out on top. So here it is one more time. He looks for the Q. Doesn't actually connect on that dragon. Not able to do it. So he does Q in onto Wiggly, trying to smite that. Not able to get out. Cost him his life. And Wiggly has really been on point with these smites so far this game. A lot of credit deserved by him.
Absolutely the case. As items are finishing up. See that game going up and down, back and forth off of smites and team fights and everything else. As Counterlogic Gaming in the driver's seat here.
They have dictated the pace of the game for most of it. They have been the ones who have gotten so many more objectives, you know, taking the Baron, taking double Elder or Dragons to the just one. TL are still in this. CLG just struggling to actually push and get anything done. Every time they take an objective, it just feels like they're kind of unsure of what to do with it. And they're not feeling confident in their ability to actually walk up and siege because they have no way to actually deny the Ornn engage. There's no Braum on their team or Flash Shield or anything like that. So I think they're just not confident to move forward when there's no Flash on their carries against this Ornn. But it does mean it's pretty damn easy for TL to kind of just wait out a lot of these objectives, right? There's only 30 seconds left on Elder. CLG has done nothing with it. They're just taking the Elder, and then they're going to go to the Baron and try to get that. But if you can't do anything with the Baron either, it just feels like we're kind of running in circles here. CLG are getting all the major objectives, but not able to close.
All right, round 3 on the Baron. Team Liquid hoping to win this BO3. It's already so incredibly low. Q lands again. Ornn hits 3. Here comes the attempted re-engage again. The smites just keep going over to Wiggly, but the health bars are low, and Smoothie, days are numbered. Ruin's ult has already been used, gets the heal, but it's CLG feeling comfortable. Top lanes have been pushed down. They win the base race, so Team Liquid must recall.
Yeah, that is 4 straight major objectives where Wiggly has won the smite fight against Broxa, and now CLG have the inside track. They might finally break the base here because TL was out of position, and they just rushed down and knocked down that inhibitor tower here.
The turret's definitely gone. They know the Ornn ult and the Victor ult are down as well, but Counterleft Gaming not yet willing to push their limits. The lowish health bar on Smoothie means they will recall and use the remaining 2 minutes of Baron buff to maybe finally crack into the base. Keep in mind, Bolter has been done buying items for 5 minutes now.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta be honest, I just don't think they actually are gonna do anything more with this Baron based on what we've seen the last couple times. They're very hesitant to push. Flashes are still on cooldown for their carries, so we'll see if they're willing to try to get something done here. I think CLG are just kind of hoping they can kind of just stay around and eventually get a pick and then maybe end the game off that, but they don't have a lot of good ways to find picks, so we're just kind of in this stalemate that has just been back and forth. CLG gets a big objective, TL waits it out, CLG gets the next big objective, waits it out, and we're kind of just going back and forth, waiting for something to happen. And the longer you do this as CLG, you are giving more opportunities to TL to find a good engage and potentially win the fight off of it, because that timer's become very, very long when you're 46, 47 minutes in.
Kill might be all they need. We've still got about 1.5 minutes left on this Baron power play, and Counterleft Gaming crossing the T's, dot in the rise, making sure there's not too much vision around. They got their own control wards down. There is one in the jungle they're walking by, but looking at bot lane tier 2, Pove has shepherded in the wave. Wiggly's there to cut off the opposing one, and that means it's turret number 7. CLG once again retake the turret kill lead. They wait to see if they can siege any farther.
And the gold matters a little, but not a lot at this point, where most of the carries are all done their items. You know, it's mostly just, can you crack the base? Can you deal game-ending damage? And that is where CLG has struggled, but they are trying to remedy that by pushing multiple lanes. Impact, though, looking for the engage.
Finds a knock-up onto 3. Rune's waiting around, puts the shield down, puts the redemption there as well, and Wiggly puts in the ulti. Gets some steals away from Core JJ. Jensen's down to half, and that might signal the disengage. Only one ult used, and it's enough to push them away. Middle inhibitor is cracked. Top inhibitor going to be an easy attack here as well. CLG should have no problems knock this one down. And they have reduced Team Liquid's base to shambles. The pillar's there. Bullet time means next to nothing, but Wiggly almost goes down. Ult comes in for Core JJ. Poe cannot quite find the kill in tactical. Slowed down by Braum. Has to respect Victor now as well. Finds another stun. Can't quite find the kill, though. And actually, the inhib will live.
Pobelter is playing these fights so well. Honestly, the scatter to interrupt Tactical's ultimate, finding multiple long-range combos there, chunking out TL members. He basically solo forced the flash out of Tactical and interrupted the ultimate, which potentially could have killed off Wiggly. So Pobelter really has been playing incredibly well in this game, and you've got to give him some credit. You know, when he came in for CLG, he has really been a big factor for this team, winning lane phases against almost everyone. He has been dominant in a lot of his games, team fighting wise. Looking great here again, 6-1 on the Syndra. Not much to complain about from Pobelter.
The last time I saw CLG with Dragons 20 minutes in, they lost to a base race. Impact very tanky, will not go down, but a flay might mean Core drops. Not enough damage to the Syndra. Look at the stun in the front line. Wiggly, he's healing, he's finally going down. A 1-for-1 on that fight as they trade jungler for top laner.
I think that does go in favor, as far as combat power of CLG, but because there is an objective here that you're fighting over, it's risky to try the Elder when you have no jungler. So TL should be able to push CLG back right now. We'll see if they want to commit to it. This is one you would hope Broxa would be able to smite.
Yeah, they can get rid of the vision, and Wind has a lot of damage. Broxa has Guardian Angel yet again.
Hooks.
They find the hook, they go in for the play, but is enough damage? Pelotter's cut off from the fight, and the Elder Dragon is helping Team Liquid, but so far, CLG have stayed alive. They got that pick, they disengage, and the respawn 30 seconds away.
Yeah, Jensen on the side here is trying to threaten them, but this is very, very scary stuff. If TL do die here, the game could just end, so Broxa has got to be damn sure if he's going to go in for this attack.
Oh, a lot of damage. Tactical stays alive, but Smoothie's running out of health. The Elder Dragon is still hitting him.
He's behind them.
Pope is behind. Can he find the stun? He flashes. He gets the Guardian Angel. He gets the Elder Dragon. He gets the double kill. He's gonna get the triple as well. Team Liquid will not withstand the power of the notorious POB.
The absolute 1v9 play. Pobelter takes over the game, teleports in 1v3s, and says, Team Liquid, get out my game.
I can't tell if the crowd is chanting CLG or POB, but 11-1 on Syndra will make you believe that was a 1v9. That was a sick game. And Counter Logic Gaming take down Team Liquid.
Pobelter, my God, what a game and what an ending. CLG had so much trouble closing that one out, and Pobelter takes the bull by the horns. He says, I'm gonna be the one to do it.
Imagine coming to 2020 not being on a starting lineup. Here he is, hard carrying Counter Logic Gaming to a victory over Team Liquid. The best thing that happened to CLG all year is Pobelter joining in the mid lane. Beautiful stuff against his old team. That's gotta feel sweet.
Imagine being a team who didn't pick up Pobelter in the 2020 season and seeing how well he has played.
Yeah.
This man is on an absolute tear. The crowd is loving it.
All right. They said they'd fight until they were guaranteed they couldn't make it. It is an uphill road, believe you me. It's gonna be a tough scrap if CLG want to make it to top 6. With 5 games to play, they are 3 wins behind that mark. They're gonna need some help. They can't even guarantee it themselves, but you get games like that, maybe you can claw your way and just barely make it.
It is possible that they can still make it, but even if they can't, they're having something that they can build upon now. And here is the pro view replay. Pobelter teleports in, spots him with the blue ward, flash, 3-man scatter, ultimate on one, QW on the other to kill him off. And then while Broxa is in that GA, the spells come back up. He can finish him off. Even flexed on him with the Zonias. He's loving it. He's laughing it up, and rightfully so. That was the play of the season. That was just so fantastic.
Yeah. Almost an hour long into that game, and Counter Logic Gaming came away with it. Now, on the other side, we're going to hear from Pobelter on that win. So stay tuned. Hear from the man himself.